Before we get into today's video, shout out to Sway Run 21, the Redskins highlight package YouTuber. He has the best highlight packages on YouTube for the Washington Redskins. So big shout out to him for letting me use the highlights in this video. So with that being said, everyone go subscribe to his channel down below. I leave the link in the description and go show him some love. As always, being boy Juan Gotti. Enjoy today's video. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be going over the Redskins superstar player that literally no one is talking about. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington Redskins. And let's get straight into today's video. And when I tell you guys this player is not a superstar yet, but by the end of 2020 everyone in the NFL will know his name and he'll be on his way to Canton within 15 years. Let's get straight into today's video. Now, some may say Canton, it might be a little stretch. I mean, and I guess you can say that as of right now, but the player that I'm talking about, the superstar player that will break out this year and be a superstar in the NFL that no one is talking about, is none other than Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you guys, this guy will be a monster and a superstar in the league, and he will run the NFL as far as the defensive side goes into the future. I'm telling you guys, Montez Sweat is a beast. He's a superstar. Redskins fans and even outside of the Redskins fan base are really sleeping on him just because we got another defensive end in Chase Young. I feel as though that he can be as good or even better, a superstar making in 2020 and the future, and I feel as though that he can run the league in the next coming years. So I'm here as Juan Gotti telling you guys why I ain't doing my job, why I feel as though that he can be a superstar, and why he's the Redskins superstar player that no one is talking about. And let's get straight into the facts. So you know how we start every video like this. I gotta give you some sort of background information on the player that we're covering. So who is Montez Sweat? Shaquan Montez Sweat. I know you guys probably didn't even know that his first name wasn't Montez. His first name is actually Shaquan. So Shaquan Montez Sweat, born September 4th, 1996, is an American defensive end for the Washington Redskins of the National Football League. He played college football at Mississippi State and was drafted by the Redskins in the first round of the 2019 NFL Draft. At Mississippi State, Montez Sweat put up amazing numbers, and before we drafted Chase Young, he was the one that was compared to Julius Peppers, and they said we got a steal by getting Montez Sweat. At Mississippi State, he went crazy and was one of the greatest to ever play for that team. When I tell you this guy was nasty, fast, he had the agility, he had the moves, he had everything that you want out of a defensive end. He could drop back some plays, and he can obviously get at the quarterback. When I tell you, when this guy came out of college, he was supposed to go, at least a lot of teams wanted him to go in the top 5, top 10, and that should say a lot about Montez Sweat talent. So coming out of college, this guy was one of the best, if not the best defensive end in the draft. But we all know the story. Montez Sweat had a major health condition coming out of college, which prevented him from going in the top 10 as far as the draft goes. So he fell to the Washington Redskins in the later first rounds after the Washington Redskins traded back into the first round after giving their second round pick to the Indianapolis Colts. So it was a blessing in disguise for the Washington Redskins. Washington Redskins been getting steals, although we talk about how much steals they got in the 2019 draft, or 2020 draft rather. They've been getting steals. 2019 they got a guy that was projected to go top 10 and fell to their lap in the later rounds as far as the draft goes. Now I know the Washington Redskins fan base could be very impatient at times, so the question is still lingering around: is Montez Sweat good? And if you watched the games last year, you should answer that question for yourself. You shouldn't even have to ask me or the internet, is Montez Sweat good? Montez Sweat, although he didn't get off to the fast start that we wanted him to last year, he did evolve late into the season. Montez Sweat finished the 2019 season with 7 sacks, just under 50 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. Not to mention that he did miss some time with an injury. So Montez Sweat being good shouldn't even be a question in your vocabulary. So now to your question, how is Montez Sweat the superstar player that no one is talking about for the Washington Redskins? I'm here to tell you why. The The reason why I say Montez Sweat is the superstar player that no one is talking about is because of the surrounding that he has. It feels like we talk about this every day, but everyone on this defensive line, and even you can say defense too, is going to help everyone thrive and eat. Now, I know everyone can't win Defensive Player of the Year. Not everyone could possibly win MVP, and I'm not saying no one on defense will. I'm just saying that just to throw it out there, as far as not everyone could win that trophy, but everyone chips into a certain player being great. And I feel as though with Montez Sweat's surroundings, such as Chase Young, rather, such as a Ryan Kerrigan, everyone pieces around him is going to make him better and just help him be better on and off the field as a person. Now, I know everyone loves to compare Chase Young to Julius Peppers, and even himself, he said he models his game after Julius Peppers, and he said if he had to compare his game to one person, it would be Julius Peppers. But before Redskins fans and even NFL fans had their sights on one Chase Young, and even before he even declared for the draft, when Montez Sweat, when he declared for the draft, a lot of analysts compared him to Julius Peppers. Not only does Julius Peppers and Montez Sweat look alike, but their game literally resembles each other. And not only does his game resemble each other's, but obviously Chase Young's games resemble each other. So just imagine having two young Julius Peppers coming at you at one time. You're not going to know what to do. So that's back to my point to say Julius Peppers was already a great player coming out of college, and he proved that in NFL. He's a Hall of Famer. So just for analysts to be comparing Montez Sweat to Julius Peppers coming out of college, that is just setting you up for success. Not everyone gets off to a fast start like how we are expecting Chase Young to, and I feel as though that he will. Not everyone gets off to a fast start. So for that question that we talked about earlier in the video, is Montez Sweat good? That shouldn't even be a question, because he was dealing with injuries, and he just didn't get up to a fast start. So for him to make it up and eat down towards the stretch, I know we like to talk about Dwayne Haskins eating and him figuring out the NFL game down towards the stretch, but we got to talk about Montez Sweat, the Giants game, the Eagles game, the Lions game, and most importantly the Cowboys game, where he feasted on that offensive line. He showed you why he was projected to go top 10 in the NFL draft. Montez Sweat, not only can he rush the passer really well, but his coverage game isn't that bad either. It's not the best, but it gets the job done to cover the flat, cover the running backs out the backfield, covering the slot, wide receivers if have to, or even maybe the tight end one-on-one coverage. He has the size to coverage a tight end, so it's not, a big deal. The only thing that a tight end could possibly have on the Chase Young and the Montez Sweat is speed, but you can't even say that. Montez Sweat ran a 4.41 as a defensive end at the draft combine. A 4.41. A whole second better than our quarterback. And I know that's not saying a lot, because Dwayne Haskins isn't a running quarterback, but that's just tell you something. Montez Sweat ran a 4.41 out of college or at the draft combine, and I'm pretty sure Chase Young would have ran faster than a Montez Sweat. So like I'm saying, just imagine two Julius Peppers coming at you at one time. The quarterback is not going to be able to live. That's why I'm saying, in order for Montez Sweat to be the superstar that I know he will and be good, he's going to have to perform well, but it's also his players and his teammates around him that's going to have to chip in for him to be the superstar player that I know he will be this upcoming year and for the future. And I know it's like we talk about this defense every day, but it's true. You got to let it sink in. This front seven, 5 first-round draft picks. This front seven is projected to be the best, if not one of the best, front sevens in all of football, probably right behind the 49ers. So with that being said, having Montez Sweat come at you, having Matthew Ioannidis, Deron Payne, John Allen, Tim Settle, Ryan Anderson, Ryan Kerrigan, having all those guys coming at you, being able to kill you from a pass rush standpoint and also a coveraging standpoint, it's scary for these guys. And I feel as though that Montez Sweat is not only going to eat off of just him being good, but like I said, he's going to feed off from the energy. So with Chase Young being double teamed, right? Chase Young being double teamed, you're having Montez Sweat one-on-one coverage, who showed you at the end of the season, down the stretch, them last couple games, that he's nothing to play with. With him one-on-one coverage with your right tackle and Montez Sweat, or rather Chase Young being double teamed, that's just leaving you one-on-one coverage. So either way you go, you're screwed as a quarterback. You're screwed as an offensive coordinator. This guy is the kind of guy that's gonna help you have you up all night pre-gaming for him. As far as the offensive coordinator goes, you have the game plan for a Montez Sweat, and not only just a Montez Sweat, it's something just being one player and having one defensive end that you have to game for, but just 3 defensive ends that you have to game for, because I feel as though Ryan Kerrigan is being very underrated. And I know you say, well, he's old, he's going to be 32 by the start of the season, which is true, but I'm saying, if this guy was in the 4-3 his whole career, I'm pretty sure he would have been, a Hall of Famer. And not saying that he still ain't, because he's going to break the sack record leader for the Washington Redskins this upcoming year. But I'm just saying, 4-3 defense this whole year, this guy would literally have 20 sacks a season. Literally. So with that being said, have these guys feed off of each other, and I guarantee you Montez Sweat is the superstar Redskins player that nobody is talking about. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington Redskins. Who do you believe is the Washington Redskins most slept on player and or superstar player that no one is talking about? As always, me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins. I gave you my opinion, and the floor is yours. Peace.